Honestly, if I filmed this review an hour and 45 minutes into this show, I'd be saying that it was completely boring, lifeless, just a dull filler go-home show. But the last 15 minutes of this SmackDown go-home show for Clash of Champions was actually quite good. Like, seriously speaking, it was quite good. The Alexa Bliss stuff, where Twisted Bliss, got the flashbacks, the thoughts of the Fiend. She absolutely snapped, destroyed Lacey Evans, and then proceeded to leave up the aisleway and have this little moment on the ramp where the Tribal Chief, Universal Champion Roman Reigns makes his entrance. He's standing there holding the title, as you can see. Alexa Bliss is just death staring him because this guy, Roman Reigns, took the Universal title from the Fiend, who Alexa Bliss now has this just some kind of connection to. Like, that bit was really cool. Really cool. So that was good. The rest of this show, like the first hour and 45 minutes, not very good. Now, as I always say, if you enjoyed that first hour and 45 minutes, 100% awesome for you. If you enjoyed the Triple Threat IC title, well, non-title match, but the match we're getting on Sunday without the title or the ladder, so Jeff Hardy, AJ Styles, Sami Zayn, if you enjoyed watching that match, and the Championship Ascension opening segment, like that first half an hour, if you enjoyed that, hats off to you. That's awesome. I just found it kind of dull myself. Why are you giving away the match on Sunday with all three competitors going at it? Why are you giving that away 2 nights before? Just how lazy can you get? Like, the Championship Ascension segment was fine. It went for 10 minutes or so. It was a fine segment. It's all you had to do. But they had to kill 20 minutes in any way they could. So we got the three of them going at it in a great match. Like, how lazy do you want to get, WWE? It's stuff like that. It's just, they don't need to be wrestling. The match was fine. It wasn't bad, but do they need to be going at it? It kills a lot of the tension ahead of the pay-per-view match. Like, it really does. So we had that. The rest of the show, like, after that, like, off the top of my head, what do I even remember? So we had, during this show, we had a tribute to Road Warrior Animal, which, by the way, rest in peace, Road Warrior Animal. It sucks to see anyone pass away, let alone someone who had such a big impact on the pro wrestling business, like Road Warrior Animal. Like, him and Road Warrior Hawk, like, the Legion of Doom, the Road Warriors, they had such a legacy left in pro wrestling. They did so much for tag team wrestling. So, yeah, it sucks to see Road Warrior Animal go. But, yeah, so we got a tribute package for him. We got a backstage segment during the show where we had literally, with Jey Uso in the ring. This was like an hour into the show. Jey Uso's in the ring, and he's cutting this promo where he wants Roman Reigns to come out, and he wants them to talk to each other. He wants the Tribal Chief in the ring, one-on-one, just to have a chat. But Roman Reigns is just in his locker room. Paul Heyman was, talking on the Titantron, saying that the Tribal Chief isn't going to come out there, and Paul Heyman went into the locker room. Heyman was sitting with Reigns, got a good visual of Reigns with his Sharp and Win singlet on, sitting there with the title belt. Heyman's there, they're on these couches watching Jey Uso on the screen. Jey Uso talking about how, he wants this to be his moment. He's always been the underdog, and, he's always been the afterthought of the family, and really good stuff. Like, the Jey Uso Roman Reigns build tonight was really good. It was the best thing on the show outside of the Alexa Bliss snapping on Lacey Evans thing. Like, those two things carried this episode of SmackDown tonight. The rest of SmackDown was just not eventful. We had Matt Riddle versus Baron Corbin, which went for about 15 minutes. Matt Riddle lost to Baron Corbin, which I'm sure a lot of the YWC will be crying tonight, saying that Matt Riddle's been buried. At this point, I don't really care. Like, when I'm watching the match, I'm like, I'm just bored. Whoever wins, I just don't care. So Corbin pinned him, and then Matt Riddle afterwards just like, bro, it's a setback, bro. I'm gonna make SmackDown the bro show, bro. So that's what we got after the match. Matt Riddle's gonna come back with a vengeance after losing this match to Baron Corbin. I mean, whatever, really. So we had that. Bayley cut a promo on the aisleway where she sat down on the steel chair, like, on the stage, and then cut another promo about Sasha Banks. This was an alright promo, not as good as the one she did 2 weeks ago, but, the points she's making are really good. They're building up the match against Nikki Cross on Sunday. So, yeah, Bayley's going to retain, obviously, on Sunday, and we'll see where that goes with Sasha Banks. Hopefully, the Sasha Banks stuff is good. Hopefully, they don't drag it out too much, and they can keep the storytelling going with some momentum. So, that was that. Outside of that, we had another bit of Miz, John Morrison, Otis, Tucker, Money in the Bank briefcase, lunchbox build. Like, this whole storyline, as I tweeted out on Twitter, is based off a lunchbox. Like, okay, so, yeah, we had this stuff with the lunchbox, talking about Otis getting sued by Miz's lawyers, and The Miz, they did a backstage segment. I wasn't really watching. I don't really care about this kind of stuff. So, yeah, we had that, and we had a Shinsuke Nakamura versus Grand Metalik match. Shinsuke Nakamura just beat Grand Metalik, and afterwards, Lucha House Party argued with each other, so that was fine. Now, I've got all the crap out of the way, finally to cover this main event. So, after we had Alexa Bliss versus Lacey Evans, Alexa Bliss gets thoughts of the Fiend, she snaps, goes absolutely just demented, destroys Lacey Evans, gets DQ'd, just goes, ballistic on Lacey Evans. We have the Fiend's, graphics show up on the screen, the lighting changes, Alexa Bliss, the look in her eyes changed, they sold it really well, so I thought that was excellent, what they did there was phenomenal. Outside of that, I think the main event segment, Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, was very good. I talked about that moment with Alexa Bliss staring at Roman Reigns earlier. That was great. Then the main event segment, Roman Reigns, Jey Uso going face to face, cutting a promo. Jey Uso talking about it's always been with him. Which one are you? Are you Jimmy or Jey Uso? He's lacked identity. Jey Uso's talking about how it's always bothered him and irked him, and he needs to make a name for himself, and this Sunday is the biggest match of his life. And Roman Reigns is responding by saying there's a reason why Jey Uso has been in that position his whole life. Roman Reigns is the tribal chief, he's the big dog, he's the face of the company, and he's not going to let Jey Uso make a name off of him. And then the show ends with Roman Reigns beating up Jey Uso and leaving him standing tall, holding the title. So, excellent stuff there. Overall, SmackDown for, what date was this? September 25th, 2020. Not the best show. It was filled with filler. The last 15 minutes were great. Check out the last 15 minutes. The rest, you can skip. So, yeah, if you enjoyed the video, like, comment, sub. You guys know the drill. See ya.